when you want to produce a nice tone on a guitar, there's a number of things you can do. I suppose the most basic thing of all is to learn that if you play in the center of the string, say an open string, you get the real lush open sound, very rich. So that's playing exactly halfway in the string. However, if you want a really harsh sound, you play out this end, very near the bridge. Now, I've only just started picking up the guitar again. I got a diploma 30 years ago in classical guitar, so we'll just see what I can still do. But I just wanted to say about tone production. When you play classical guitar, you lean, so you play you can play a tone, play a string, and then you play onto the string below. So you're like you're walking, and that produces a very firm effect, very clear sound. By far the worst thing about classical guitarists is their nervousness, and it's really quite tedious listening to people who are nervous. So you just want to make a very clear sound, and that's how you do it. If necessary, play really loud. The other thing you can do is playing upwards. So get a close up here. You're playing up into the air, so you're not playing down on the string. It's more of a plucking thing like that. Produces well, I don't know how you describe that. That technicians would know about that in the EQ terms in a studio, but you're producing more upper harmonics or something. Then the other thing you can do is, you know about harmonics. So these are halfway on the string, where you just touch the strings lightly, and then you release it immediately. Very nice tone. And then there's one at the 7th position, and then there's one at the 5th position. And there's a piece by Villalobos which makes use of all that. Oh, I've forgotten it. Oh, I've forgotten it, sorry. Then for you know, when you're picking strings, that's the other thing, obviously, to practice. Very handy chord sequence is, in fact, I use this in Joel 2. We used it in Joel 2. So you've got 2 fingers on the 4th and the 2nd string. In fact, your fingers are only on the 4th and 2nd string, okay? But in just 2 shapes right down the guitar. So they're both together there. If you see what I mean, like that. then you slip down one and you pop this finger offset there instead. So you've gone from there to there, and then you slide down two more. So there's two shapes. Basically it's that shape, and then you go back again to the first shape there on the 7th fret, and then on the 5th fret you do the same. So on the 12th fret, the 7th fret and the 5th fret, they're all like that. It's time rusty. And so for picking, there's something called a clawhammer. I think this might be a clawhammer. Can't remember now. So you're just doing different picking techniques. That's playing both at the same time. Screen here. What's going on there is, so I've dropped from the 5th back to this second shape there, and then again there, which is like a C position, if you know the C chord, except I am only playing those two. Hammering on and off. But it's a great sequence, isn't it? It's a lovely sound. But it's so simple. I'm not doing it right, am I? Then you drop to the 5th. To produce a clean chord, just you must practice doing that to produce a clean chord, because so that you've got the ability to either do a spread chord like this, or to do just all at the same time, very cleanly. When you're just practicing, it's very, you're just starting out, you tend to be like this. You tend to roll the chords a bit. The other thing is obviously vibrato. When you're playing a note and you just waggle it to and fro, it's lovely and expressive. So there I'm just hammering on, okay? those things don't come overnight. Obviously I've been, you know, at some point I put in about 8 years worth of practice there. So I don't want to minimise it, but you're building up the strength in the fingers, and the good way to do it, which I learned later, which I sure would have liked to have learnt earlier, is to practice these things without the use of the thumb at the back. Because if you can do it without that thumb at the back, you can sure do it with the thumb as a support. And that's the same for chords really, and bar rate things. And obviously you're supporting it against your chest. If that thumb isn't there, it's got to be supported against something. Okay, that's, I'm just pressing against my chest. You need to get that clean, and then you know that you've got the strength in your fingers. But normally, of course, we're playing with the thumb at the back there. Things have changed over the years, actually. People are playing slightly differently. What else is there? The other tricky bits are things where you're doing tremolos and that kind of stuff. There's a piece I play on the CD, which is another piece of Villa-Lobos, I think, but it's this repeated, this figure here, just over and over again. I don't think it comes back again actually. I don't think it's like that. I think it's just. But of course it sounds very flash, but all you're doing is that very fast. And that's the same with the tremolo thing in those famous pieces, which again I can't play for you straight away, but that sort of effect, you know. Then suspensions, heard of them? You use them a lot, where, say for example in D, basic D chord, you're using the finger for the G, which makes a fourth note in the D scale. D, E, F sharp, G. And then if you take off, hammer off into an open string at the top, these are all the sort of things you do with the D chord. So on my CD, the Proverbs 3 song is like that. Do 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 do. Roughly think that's the use of hammering. Strumming, right. Obviously there's just the straight. So you're building up strength in your first finger, really. You can support it with a thumb. This is working without a plectrum, okay? In classical guitar you don't use a plectrum. you're using your thumb, you're also building strength up in that as well. And then it's the use of slapping the strings at the same time to create the rhythm. Just mess around really.